Alright then. We'll see. Here we go again.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
Hard not to.
You heard? My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
At least we made contact.
At least we know how to approach the mages and Templars now.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere. But to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
We need to choose one. I don't know which one is better.
Or you could stop bickering and make a decision.
I agree.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
You think it's a trap?
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave,
They see me as
The
a
same
threat.
could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
Like what?
There is one other matter. Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared.
That's
Ordinarily, I
weird.
wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
It does sound weird. Why would the Grey Wardens all of a sudden disappear? They're not going for a march into the Deep Rose for a final confrontation with the Darkspawn. That's gonna end only in one way.
That does sound odd, I agree.
The others have disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it.
It is
2 days
weird.
ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you
That's
have
one
the
of the
opportunity,
companions.
please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if he can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Okay, well at least I've been given some info. And now there's a question mark out there. Let's see what it is. Krem. What the hell are you?
Excuse me. I've got a message for the Inquisition, but I'm having a hard time getting anyone to talk to me.
Identify
Who
yourself.
are you, soldier?
Cremisius Aclasi with the Bulls Chargers Mercenary Company. We mostly work out of Orlais and Navarra. We've got word of some Tevinter mercenaries gathering out on the Storm Coast. My company commander, Iron Bull, offers the information free of charge. If you'd like to see what the Bulls Chargers can do for the Inquisition, meet us there and watch us work.
The Bull's charges. Iron Bull! Oh yeah, the Canary dude!
What can your Bull's charges offer the Inquisition?
We're loyal, we're tough, and we don't break contracts. Ask around Val Royeaux. We've got references.
Why are you standing like that? I think you need to go to the bathroom, isn't it? He needs to pee. Look at that. He just unless he's got some sort of tune in his head, he needs to pee badly.
What should I know about your commander?
Iron Bull. He's one of those Canary, the big guys with the horns. He leads from the front. He pays well, and he's a lot smarter than the last bastard I worked for. Best of all, he's professional. We accept contracts with whoever makes the first real offer. You're the first time he's gone out of his way to pick a side.
Why give us this message?
Why did your commander send us this information?
Iron Bull wants to work for the Inquisition. He thinks you're doing good work.
We welcome the help.
I look forward to meeting this Iron Bull.
We're the best you'll find. Come to the Storm Coast and you can see us in action.
You got it. Now go find yourself a privy and go pee. Seriously, stop hopping like that, would you? It's just distracting. That's Vivienne. Without the ridiculous headdress. Holy crap. That's way different than before.
You came from the circle at Ostwick, did you not?
Yeah.
Senior Enchanter Lydia was a dear friend of mine. Were you at all acquainted?
I think you get to choose actually what you remember. I'll say she was my mentor.
Lydia was my instructor. She was almost a mother to me.
I never met a wiser soul than her. I understand she was killed by one of her own students when the Ostwick Circle rebelled.
Ooh.
I think we both agree that this war must end.
This chaos harms everyone.
The war benefits no one. It must end, and order must be restored.
If only the rebels saw things so clearly. Justinia's death has shattered the balance of power in Thedas.
That
If it is
is
not
obvious.
restored quickly, countless lives will be lost. Mages, Templars, innocent people of all kinds now look to the Inquisition to decide their fate.
All that is in their own hands.
I'm not deciding anything.
Actions have consequences, my dear. Do not imagine that yours will go unnoticed by history.
Damn it.
For almost 1,000 years, the world believed it was in the hands of the Maker. And now many believe you are the agent of his will. Whatever the truth is, that belief gives you power.
No one should have that power. But I'll use it to change things.
If that's true, then I'll put it to good use.
I suppose we'll see. I've stolen enough of your time, my dear. Don't let me keep you.
I don't mind. I got time.
Yes?
Tell me about the
I
circle.
wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
Wasn't the circle
If the
disbanded?
Circle disbanded, how can you still belong to it?
The circle is an idea, my dear. And an idea cannot be dissolved. Many of the first enchanters voted for rebellion, caring little that anything short of a unanimous decision would pit mage against mage. Rather than dissolving it, Grand Enchanter Fiona's vote split the circle in two. The rebels follow her, the loyalists follow me.
And the loyalists stayed with you. Shouldn't you replace
If
Fiona
you
then?
lead all the loyalists, why are you only First Enchanter and not Grand Enchanter?
Grand Enchanters are elected, and since there are no First Enchanters besides myself, no vote can be held. I
Ah.
could name myself Grand Enchanter, but the title holds no meaning now. When the circles are restored, that will change.
What was your circle like?
I've never been to the Montsimard Circle. What was it like?
A place of great history and tradition, with the greatest library of magical history outside of the Imperium. It was deeply involved in the Great Game, as you might expect of anyone living in Orlais.
Sounds
The mages
great.
there were quite competitive, but it was stimulating to be always pushed to exceed the abilities of my peers.
Sounds like a lot of pressure. Jeez.
How did we come to this state with the circles in revolt?
You, my dear, are far too wise not to have realized that many of our colleagues live with their eyes closed. Safe from the world inside their towers, they thought only of the Templars and their own resentment. Kirkwall gave the world a reason to remember its fear of magic. A mage killed hundreds with a snap of their fingers. Across Thedas, a new tangible fear of magic grew. Commoners and nobles alike called out to the Chantry for protection.
Look how that
But the
turned out.
malcontents in the towers thought nothing of this. They cared only for themselves and for their anger at the new Templar restrictions. When a mage attempted to assassinate Divine Justinia, again, the mages protested the investigation. The leadership chose to vote on independence based on the intolerable conditions imposed by the Templars.
Well, it was
Sparing
getting
no thought to the fact that
horrible.
magic was more feared in the aftermath of these attacks than it had been since Tevinter's day. So long as they had their freedom, they could care little for riots, angry mobs, or about pitting mages against each other.
Do you know Fiona?
Are you familiar with Grand Enchanter Fiona?
We've met. Before her horrendously ill-timed and selfish vote for independence, I thought her adequate at her job.
Adequate.
In her dotage, she could not handle looking after the well-being of so many people. We would have done better to replace her years ago, to let her spend time gardening.
Wow. I understand why they call her the Lady of Iron. Coal as you can find.
Did they have cause to rebel?
In the aftermath of their terrorist attacks? Was that really the most opportune time to break away? By all means, protest abuses by the Templars. Just don't do it in a way that says mages support wholesale murder. By
Good
voting when they
point.
did, my colleagues all but declared war upon the ordinary people of Thedas. A war in which we are outnumbered 100 to 1.
Mages are fighting
I thought the
mages?
fighting was only between mages and Templars. Why are mages fighting mages?
The vote for independence was carried by only a small margin, but Fiona chose to let the motion stand.
Great.
Those who opposed a rash declaration of war against the entire free world had little choice. By breaking from the Chantry when they did, the rebels declared themselves in support of mass murder. Anyone who did not wish to support terrorism and the slaughter of innocents was forced to take arms against the rebels.
Never mind. I got some info.
There was no word for heaven or for earth or sea or sky. All that existed was silence.
Apothecary Adon
Then
will have
the
more
voice of the
poultices for the
Maker
injured as
rang
soon as
out.
possible, revered mother.
First word.
Thank you, child.
And his
You are
word
doing the
became
Maker's
all
work.
that might be.
Have you been able to save many people?
More than if we had not tried.
How are things going, Lady Giselle? I'd like Inquisition history.
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages.
Kind of like
As
Templars.
Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the chant of light by force.
That's not exactly friendly.
It must be difficult to follow the chant of light knowing how it spread.
Indeed. I have always believed that the Maker wished us to spread the chant of light by example, not violence.
That's a
Once the
matter
chant
that
of
I
light had
strongly
spread far
believe
and
in.
wide, there was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the seekers of truth, and eventually the Templars.
So and now we're back.
And now the Inquisition has been called again to restore order. By force.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away. Perhaps the name was divine, Justinia's message, that when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put its sword away.
Or staff, in my case. How are the people?
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are people at Haven?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
They are terrified. Many of them came here because the war between the mages and the Templars.
I think I've already
destroyed
been
their
through
homes.
this.
In their minds, the death of a divine has destroyed any chance of peace. To that, add the breach. Farmers have fled their fields. If we do not restore order, half of Thedas may starve.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Maker go with you.
Okay, let's have a talk with Josephine. We never had a chance to more explore her.
Lord Trevelyan, may I have a moment? You've brought back some fascinating things. We're putting them to good use.
Okay. And now, there we go.
I'll speak with you later.
Thank you again for what you've brought back.
Turn in research.
If you find anything, please bring it in.
What is it, Josephine?
Yes, Ambassador?
I'd like to discuss your parents.
Sure.
What would you like to know?
I'd like to dispatch a courier asking the bands of House Trevelyan to align themselves with us. What are your thoughts? Should we approach your family for their formal support of the Inquisition?
They adore politics, sadly. I'm not in their good graces. Um, I don't know much about his family, though, but hell sure, they trust me.
If that's what you want, I'll send a letter to my family. They'll respect the request if it comes from me.
Wonderful. That will save time. Valroyo has noted your lineage. It gives the Inquisition some legitimacy, although not so much as we'd hoped.
There's a
Why
surprise.
not?
You are from Ostwick. Orlesian nobles consider the free marches somewhat quaint.
I'd call it disorder. They're not scared I'm a mage. I'd call us disorganized.
Orlais has a proper empire. Free marchers never unite until Darkspawn knock at their door.
No one doubts their ferocity when it happens. Free marchers are renowned for their tenacity.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I should thank you for your patience with the simple quarters. The accommodations in Haven are surely rough for someone of your birth.
How do you find it?
This can't be what you're accustomed to, Ambassador.
One adjusts. I stay busy. It helps take my mind from our surroundings.
That's a good way of
And
doing
the
things.
cold, and the wildlife, and the lack of civilization for miles around.
Oh,
Why anyone lived here before we found Andras's ashes, I cannot imagine.
I'm fine. I don't mind the simple accommodations.
Don't worry about me. Haven's more than livable.
Really? If that is how you feel, I'm pleased to hear it. Until next time, my lord.
She really addresses me as the big man. I'm not that big yet. I don't have the fancy hats yet. I still have this stupid little cap.
What may I do for you?
I wanna know. How did you meet Liliana?
How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Orlais. I believe we actually met in Valroyo. Liliana was quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What's the game? I actually already know, but still.
What exactly do you mean when you say the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
I see. Investigate. Tell me about yourself. That's it. What does your family do?
What business are the Montiliers in exactly?
We began as merchants. My ancestors founded the first trade routes to Rivain.
That's
We
impressive.
once sent entire fleets across the Waking Sea.
Once.
But not anymore.
No. These days, our vessels are a touch more modest.
Montpellier sounds familiar.
That's where our families have met before.
Perhaps. Everyone of distinction in the free marches attends Lady Trevelyan's summer balls.
Great Aunt Lucille always did love a party.
I don't recall seeing you at any of them.
I was too awkward. Yeah, that's it. I was too awkward.
I was less than sterling company when I was younger.
Modest in temper, bold in deed.
You know the Trevelyan family motto.
Heraldry is a passion of mine.
I love this shit. Tell me about your
What
work.
did you do before coming here?
I had the great honor of serving Antiva's crown as ambassador to Orlais.
How's that an honor?
I'm also first in line to become the head of House Montilier, though my siblings attend to our mercantile affairs.
Are you doing this for Antiva?
How strong are your paths?
I would never have given up my position if I did not intend to fully commit to the Inquisition.
Ah.
We cannot fall back on borders. Antiva is as threatened as any country by the rebellions. If anything, the alliances I forged there may help our current cause.
Will we have other causes?
Do you think the Inquisition will continue after we seal the breach?
If we prove ourselves by healing the breach, people may turn to us for other things. Protection, counsel, justice. The Inquisition offered these once to those in need.
Do you believe I'm holy? I don't believe I'm holy.
Tell me, Do you believe I was saved by Andraste at the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I should much like to believe so, Your Worship. The miracles Andraste performed were so long ago, they're difficult to picture. If it were truly her and the Fate who saved you, well, in any case, many already believe you walk in the Maker's light.
Too many of you.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Alright, let's see. Let's get back to the war room. Summon War Council. Okay, this should be good. Let's see how this goes. Dogs, gather. If I had to be a prick. What's with this sword? Address.
Chancellor Roderick came to speak with me. Could you try not to antagonize him?
If I offend the man so easily, perhaps he should try leaving me alone.
Oof. Well, I'd rather not do that yet. Deal with relatives of the Trevelyan's. Report ready. Dear Lady Montlier, the Herald of Andraste's relatives have become much more restrained when discussing the Inquisition, going so far as to avoid the subject entirely. Whatever future boon they may ask of us, their newfound modesty is most gratifying. Best regards, later, Lady Battleford. What a name! Hard in height. My dear Liliana, your offer, friend, is truly a mystery. Our search uncovered only a string of foreign accounts. The trail coin led from Antiva to Deventer to the free marches in Orlais. Some hid their tracks well, but not well enough. Your writer is in Kirkwall, and remember, you owe me a favor. An amulet of power. And build watchtowers. With the watchtowers built, we've had advance warning of demon and bandit attacks. The area is safer for both the refugees and the farmers who had fled the nearby fields. Much appreciated, sir. It's good to know that the Inquisition is willing to put in the time to help these people. Corporal Vale. Inquisition needs bees! Yep, this is it! We need bees! I do not know how someone would come to this idea, but I can see the use. It is a large area to search, however. A memo from Josephine written on a note from Sarah. Know what ruins a party? Bees. I know a man who teaches how to jar them safe but angry. Stingy, no good for honey, but great for throwing. Here somewhere south, Sarah scribbled a jar. Bees hitting someone in the face. Also a butt. My God, she is horrible. I love her. Sarah is brilliant. This is great.
At your service.
Okay. Let's see here. What else we got? We got a scouting mission here. Gather coin. Up until now, the Inquisition forces have had the benefit of the Chantry's deep coffers. Now the Inquisition is... Let me guess, this was her best... fuck. What is this? The Cult of Andraste. Before the Fifth Blight and the arrival of the hero of Ferelden, Haven was occupied by cultists who worshipped a dragon, one they believed to be Andraste reborn. Both the cultists and their dragon were long gone by the time the Chantry arrived to build the Temple of Sacred Ashes, but there may still be undiscovered passages in the mountains containing their relics. With a concerted search effort, it might be possible to unearth something useful to the Inquisition. You know this place already, Liliana. Get to work.
Let's see what we have.
Address a nobleman's concerns. Herald, your Inquisition says it's for order against chaos. Reason in darkness. If you stand by this, come forth and drive the heretics from my lands. They claim to be refugees, but I have seen elves and apostates among them. Filthy savages, tearing at our roots. Our monarch refuses to send forth armies, and my own knights were decimated by the conclave. I require your aid to return peace to my lands. Prove your loyalty, and I will see you richly rewarded for your faith. Praise the light Lord Kildarn of Ferelden. So, get to work, Cullen.
To work?
I'm going back to the hinterlands. Alright, let's venture forth. We're bringing a few new ones. Let's go for this. Could I do this? I could, but should I? Yeah, why not?